Hey, folks, another Sunday afternoon, and we are back. We're back on the corner. Yeah, I'm your man, Adolphus AD Moore, and we are here on the AD Max Corner on the YouTube channel as we getting ready to recap the Texans go down to the Cleveland Browns, 21 to 31 or 31 to 21. Give the Texans, they were the visiting team, but they had to tasted the bad nectar of a loss today. So. Um, let's face it, folks. Did I last week after the victory, we there was a lot of euphoria about that first victory, David Culley's first victory, and nobody was expecting him. I was not ready to put him in the Super Bowl, and I'm not ready to write off this season now. Even though Tyrod Taylor went out in the right before the half with a hamstring injury, and now that's the situation, and injuries are a part of the game, but if this is one young man, and we as reporters, as folks that are objective observers of this game, we all supposed to be objective about how we feel and put our passions into this game and how we were being objective about reporting. But this is one guy, Tyrod Taylor, that I'm personally am pulling for, been pulling for, have followed his career pretty since he got into the league. And the fact that even back up, I know in talking to some of my colleagues up in the raw in the Buffalo Rochester area, one of the first things we thought of when the situation about who would be a good fit when Deshaun Watson situation became real cloudy as about what his prospects were going to be. Who would be the person who we could just say come in here and I threw that name out right then with a couple of colleagues up there, and lo and behold, here he is. And I stated then, and I state now, the Texans can win with Tyrod Taylor. The question becomes, can we keep him on the field? Because he's had uh, what shall we say, a notorious career, not necessarily notorious from the standpoint he can win, but he's been sort of snake bitten as from injury standpoint, or either say for instance when he was at San Diego, the slip of a doctor's needle, and all of a sudden he spends the rest of that season on the bench, and all of a sudden you got a young man got an opportunity to become a new starting quarterback for the San Diego Chargers, and so here it is, Tyrod Taylor. Now is got a hammy, and Davis Mills had to come in and finish up the contest. Now, it is did I'm pretty sure that the Cleveland Browns, because they had definitely defense from a defensive standpoint with Davian Clowney and the rest, was really gearing that attack, trying to contain Tyrod Taylor and trying to keep him in the pocket. And lo and behold, he was able to scramble a day for a 15-yard touchdown. And so that was a momentum builder for the Houston Texans. In fact, the Texans were in the ball game. Um, his counterpart was that Baker Mayfield. He went out with a shoulder injury because he was able to come back. But what's going to happen, and what makes this whole injury situation, this hamstring issue, so significant? The Texans have to play Thursday night, ladies and gentlemen. They take on the Carolina Panthers, and so that puts a whole new spin on this thing. Now, Tyrod Taylor could spend the next 96 hours in the training room trying to get that hammy together, and trying to see if he can. But the thing about it, you still need the practice time. He can learn all the game plan and everything else, but you still need to practice. And plus the fact we don't know how bad this hammy was tweaked. The fact that did not come back in leads me to believe, and I'm gonna go on record now and saying this. I don't think he was going to be. I think he's already out for the game Thursday, even though the Texans have not put out any official word. I'm just stating from what I'm seeing and from the time span that the Texans have to deal with right now. I don't see Tyrod being available for the Texans. So that means, and they only had two quarterbacks on the roster. So I guess they're going. I guess we'll see who. In fact, I'd go back and check and see who's on the practice squad. But I'm pretty sure they're going to be be in the market for a backup quarterback. All right, let's go ahead and get this out the way right now for anybody else. Say, what about Deshaun? What about him? You won't see Deshaun. That and let's just dispel this right now. There will not be a Deshaun Watson sighting. I don't care what Adam Schefter says, and I don't have to be Adam Schefter. I don't have to be working for the Disney Channel. I'm telling you right now, you're not gonna see the Deshaun Watson this Thursday night. Not in the Texans outfit. Not with with the Texan with a Texan uniform with a number 4 on. It might be a 44 or something to that effect, but it will not be a number 4 playing for the Texans, not playing quarterback, and it will not be Deshaun Watson. So let's go ahead and for anybody who thought that possibility might that just a faint hope. No, I don't even want to even give you any hope about this. Deshaun Watson will not be quarterbacking. In fact, Deshaun Watson would not be quarterbacking, not for the Texans. And now that I see Tua has gone down with an injury in Miami, maybe they can start that rumor. They can regenerate that rumor again about will the Texans get their 3 number ones, a player and a couple of threes, whatever they're asking for their Christmas wish list and trying to accommodate Deshaun Watson. Maybe that might happen. But let's get back to the game as far as Davis Mills is concerned. What can we expect out of Davis Mills? Here's the unique thing about it. By Davis Mills has to come in like a relief pitcher in a baseball game. So really, it's not a whole lot of time and I'm pretty sure that the Cleveland Browns, they have not had their whole defensive strategy set around trying to figure out, how are we gonna stop Davis Mills? That was not even in their mindset. But when they did come in there, was he adequate? Yeah, he made mistakes. Yes, he did. One play in particular that I'm going to remember, and I'm pretty sure he's going to remember. It was in the 4th quarter when the Texans went 5 wide, emptied backfield, and normally on a play like that, the quarterback is responsible for picking up that blitz to one side because the line would shift to one side, and he's have to pick up the oncoming rusher. Well, you're probably trying to figure out how does that happen. Well, an experienced quarterback will pick it up and knowing they have to be able to get rid of the ball. He's had to start counting, and he's got a clock that has to go off in his head. He doesn't necessarily have that 2.2, 2.4, 2001 for the 6 to get rid of the ball because when that backfield emptied, well, needless to say, the Browns saw it, and here come the safety, crept up there and blasted him in his chest and caused a fumble. And Marcus Cannon was able to recover the fumble, but that's one play I guarantee you Davis Mills will remember. And I'm doing this presser, I'm pretty sure once he started looking at the film and everything, he's going to remember that play. That's going to be one play that Tim Kelly and them not going to have to remind him about. Now, I'm pretty sure as the game plan is already being laid out for as what the Texans are going to do, that will Tim Kelly have to shorten up the game plan, what he normally would have had for Tyrod Taylor? Will he be able to expand it, or will he have to be able to contract it? Well, everybody said that this kid is he only had 16 starts at Stanford. So, they said he's a very bright kid. Take all that into consideration. Can he, with what they're about to throw at him and what the Carolina Panthers are going to have a chance to really get game and game situation, just go back to last week when Trevor Lawrence had his first start of his professional career, because now the defense was set to go to really give, and Trevor Lawrence did not get a whole lot of blitz looks from the Texans. They kept it basically plain vanilla, man. They worked a few different things, but they didn't throw the whole kitchen sink at Trevor Lawrence. And if taking everything into consideration, I'm pretty sure that the Carolina Panthers are going back and doing it. They're digging up all kind of tapes. They're probably digging up his Stanford tape, and they're going back and asking everybody, what do we know about Davis Mills, and trying to reprogram their defense, because at this moment, and like most NFL teams, they're planning for that week, but they're already somewhat looking ahead and trying to figure out, because this is an early game for them. This is a Thursday night game. This is a unique game. for the Texans. And really, this is going to be the only significant game. This is the game. This is the NFL Thursday night game of the week, and so the Texans will be hosting the Panthers, and so everybody will be watching. So this is a chance. Unlike a Sunday night game or the Monday night game, this is the Thursday night game. So we'll get a chance to see exactly what will the Texans have? What will they able to transpire? What can transpire for them, and can they pull this game off? At the beginning of the year, I know on talking on folks talking sports, uh, Chris Gardner asked me, was this one of the games I was looking at as putting it in the W column? Well, being Nostradamus, I'm saying yes, because I was counting on Tyrod Taylor being there. I still think that with Davis Mills there, that they can still defeat the Carolina Panthers. I think the defense is going to have to show up themselves in late in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, because up until that point, I thought that the Texans defense had done a pretty yeoman job in keeping Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt keeping those. I thought they'd done a pretty yeoman job of keeping those guys under control. Finally in the fourth quarter, and I think that the Browns offensive line started weighing them down, and then Chubb and Hunt really started picking up the yardage. No, nobody got 100. None of those two guys got 100 yards rushing, but they were able to eat up the clock and eat up some yards. Chubb, his long run was the day he had a 26-yard touchdown run today. So, they for the most part, I thought the Texans defense did a fairly yeoman job in keeping that vaunted rushing attack. Now, talking about the Cleveland Browns and talking about the history of the Cleveland Browns, for them to have those type of running backs, because to me that goes down in the annals of far as what the Cleveland Browns are concerned, because you think about the icon, number 32. When you talk about Cleveland Browns and running backs, you can't help but not just, think about the icon. Yes, I'm talking about Jim Brown. And then the backs that have come in, the Leroy Kelly, the Ernie Greens, and so forth, that have come in that annals of the Cleveland running attack. And so in this respect, the Texans, yeah, you lost. I understand that they lost. And, as far as from a statistical standpoint, and I'm not, and what you're going to find out with me and with this show and coming from the corner, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on statistics and stats. If you want to do that, go to another channel or somebody else and go for fantasy football. I've tried to bring it with I want to bring it with a different perspective and a different look at how I'm breaking, where I'm breaking this game down, and what I'm looking at as to what I think are the pluses and the minuses of this team. So the one thing that I think that, and I think it is a plus, is the fact that the Texans, of the 30, 31, 32, 31 players that made this roster, these aren't rookies. These are guys who have been in the league anywhere from at the bare minimum, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And these guys, coming with, as I stated last week after the game, they're coming with an attitude about them. They're coming with a chip on their shoulder. They're coming with to let you know that, that some folks said this was an expansion team, and I thought that was being somewhat disrespectful of the guys who's on this team. No, it's not an expansion team. You got a bunch of guys who are looking for a chance to get a break and coming with an opportunity to be able to meld and mold together. And can they prove something to them, not only to themselves, but prove something to the league, and the fact that, we are a professional group, and I still believe, as I stated last week, and watching these guys coming through camp and everything, there's a nasty attitude about these guys. There's a chip on these guys' shoulders about, how their careers, they may not have like the way that their careers have gone, but here's an opportunity for these guys to come together, to blend in, and basically just turn out the chatter, and basically in so many words, and they basically have told everybody, I don't give a darn what anybody says. I don't give a darn how anybody feels about us. We know about the guys that's in this locker room. And the one thing that, and you saw it today, and I think this is a plus to David Culley and the rest of that coaching staff. They took a situation, and the Texans was in this ball game even after Davis Mills. When he had that 16 play drive that able to consume over 8 minutes off the clock, and they scored. That this is a team they didn't panic, and there's no panic in these guys. So uh, it's going to be interesting how Tim Kelly, what part of the playbook he decides not to throw in, but what he decides to take out, if he takes out anything. Uh, will Davis Mill, as he's a graduate of Stanford, is he sharp enough to really take everything that's been thrown at him? And will that be a different approach? Yes, there will be a different approach, because the Carolina Panthers will be scheming. They will scheme to stop Davis Mills this coming Thursday. There will be a plan to throw some looks at him that he didn't see heretofore with the Stanford Cardinals. That he didn't see heretofore in practice. But guess what? Next man up. There won't be any pity parties thrown for Davis Mills. He's gonna have to he'll line up behind center come Thursday, and he's gonna have to take the snap, and he's gonna have to just line up there, and he's gonna have to play. But I think that the Texans defense gonna have to just knuckle down for 4 solid quarters. I think that toward the end of the game, they wore down because the Browns and that Bonnet run in the game exposed them. But I think that with the Texans defense, and I think that and was alluded to in the press conference after the game, the defense feel like that they're going to have to be able to win the game. Well, I think in this respect, I think the defense is really going to have to not play to the standpoint of playing that you can't afford to make a mistake, but I think they're going to have to play as error-free football this Thursday night as possible. Will that be a perfect defensive performance? Nope. I don't know what a perfect defensive performance would look like other than a shutout. And if they win the game 3-0, you can say that's as good as you can get as for when it comes down for the Texans and what the Texans defense can bring to the table. Is the personnel there to do it? Yes, the personnel is there to do it. Can the personnel do it? Well, you know what? In the words of Herm Edwards, you play the game to win. That's the reason you play the game. Dennis Green, that's why you play the game. You play the game to win, and that's what you're coming to do. So my pick at the beginning of the year, as far as just putting this game in the W column, as far from the Texans and being able to win, a little shaky. Not Yeah, we can't. I'll be lying to you if I wouldn't say that it looks a little shaky because you get a rookie quarterback that's getting ready to start his first game with everything. But you know what? Hey, he gets a paycheck. He's gonna have direct deposit in his account just like everybody else. Everybody will get a direct deposit the following week. So you line up, you go play, and you put your best effort out there, and we're going to see exactly what's going to transpire with this particular team. Can they bring the W home Thursday night? It's going to be a short week, but they're going to have a long weekend. So, yeah, I think that a lot of this game, I think you're going to see a different. I think the running attack is going to have to be uh, vastly improved. If we just, again, I mentioned I'm not a big numbers person, not going to spend a lot of time on stats, but I think you're going to have to. The Texans running attack is going to have to. Mark Ingram will have to come with it a lot better today. He only had 41 yards on 14 carries. David Johnson, all of them, Lindsey, and all of them going to have to going to have to step it up. The offensive line is going to have to really step it up because in order to give Davis Mills an opportunity and a chance to be able to be successful, I think the best way for them to be successful is they're gonna have to just it's gonna have to be some ground chuck action, and I think that the guys up front, Larry Thompson and Titus Howard, Britt and Charlie Heck and those guys, they're gonna have to line up and we're gonna have to start knocking some people they're gonna have to spend their time, the ball game, they're going to spend their time across the line of scrimmage. They're not going to be able to they should not be, or they're not going to be able to be, in order for them to be successful, they are going to have to play the game on the defensive side of the line of scrimmage. They are going to have to meet their opponent over there, and they're going to have to knock some people off the line of scrimmage, and they're going to have to pound the ball. And I expect that you're going to see a heavy dose of Ingram and the like, and they hopefully they're going to be have to be a lot more successful Thursday as opposed to what transpired in Cleveland today. So as we got a few more minutes before we wind this thing up. The Texans, not a disappointing loss. I just they lost. A loss is a loss. I don't care. I'm not I don't care how you try to spin it. They lost, but there are some things there that could have been done different. Yeah. Let me before we wrap this thing. There is one thing. Jordan Akins got a taunting call today, and I'm not a big person to want to beat the referees up, but I wish the NFL would figure out what do you want to do, because I've seen guys catch balls and do pirouettes, and they'll make a 5 yard, do a little 5 yard hitch and get a first down, and before you know it, you got a Tyler Perry production out there from some of these guys, with where they want to demonstrate and show their proudness out there on the field. So that, in my humble opinion, and I'm not gonna be humble about it, I thought it was a bush league call. He said he taunted the guy because he spun the ball in his face. Well, okay. Where else the hell was he gonna spin the ball at if it wasn't in his face? I mean, cause the guy saw him spin the ball. I saw him. Everybody else in the stadium saw, and he was not the only receiver that does that. Gets up and spins the ball. So, but I don't know. That was just my referee pet peeve of the game. That was the fact that they did call that play, and I thought it was a bush league call. Because the NFL is very funny. The NFL wants the showmanship. That's the reason you see now when there's an interception, you see the whole defense runs to the camera. Now that's something that the NFL all of a sudden now is encouraging. They're encouraging this type of celebration, but not they're encouraging you to be a little ostentatious, but not too much. Being ostentatious. So I don't know. I that one play, and that play didn't cost the Texans the game. Let's go ahead and scratch that. That didn't cost the Texans the game. The Texans didn't score no points. That's the reason they didn't, and that's what caused the Texans the game. So they didn't score no points. They lost, and they'll get a chance to come back Thursday night in redemption. So, alluding to it as far as the redemption, the Tyrod Taylor redemption review is going to be put on hold for a little bit. As I mentioned earlier in the show, I don't expect him to be playing Thursday night. I don't see it at this point, and I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to play one here. I'm not going to act like I got a license from John Hopkins here, but I don't expect him to play again, and I'll just leave it at that. But so, Chris, as you come back in, if you can bring yourself back in, we can. I see your Cougars. Brought Grambling over there to the stadium and gave him a nice check. Yeah, that was nice of them last night. You know,
I guess, part of U of H's soft non-conference schedule, soft schedule overall this year that just might help Dana get to 8 wins out of 12. But, wasn't impressed with it. But think about this, Mr. Moore. Yesterday's win for Houston over Grambling, that's 2 in a row for them. That's the first time under Hogerson Houston has a winning streak. 22 games. That's the first time they won 2 in a row.
Well, this only is his second. It was his second year, third
This
year.
is third year. Third year.
Huh. Okay, but didn't he just sign an extension?
I hope not. He's going to get a bonus for the invite to the Big 12, $1 million, but he better not get an extension. For what? For being 8-14 or whatever it is now.
Well, you know what was interesting?
9-14 now, I think now, because after yesterday's win, 9-14. Excuse me.
Yeah, you know what was interesting, and I caught this on your Twitter page. When they had the alumni, the Hall of Fame reception, they already had the Big 12 background there.
Yes, sir. I saw that picture. Yes, U of H and Big 12 in the backdrop. Yep.
Huh. Okay. So that means is Tillman. I mean, well, I always refer to Tillman because I know he had deep pockets, especially after he sold a major interest in his casino. But have they already put the money together to get out earlier, or what?
I have not heard they have, but that is not the first indication. Heck, I think at Dana's press conference on Monday this week, well, last week, they had U of H by itself logo. It wasn't a combination of U of H and the American in the logo
right
with the backdrop. It was just U of H. So, as you mentioned, for the Hall of Fame Gala gathering, the backdrop was U of H and the Big 12
right
logo combination. So I've heard from at least 3 people who believe that Houston will try to get out of the American into the Big 12 after this season for the fall of 2022 rather than the fall of 2023.
So that's okay. Well, I mean, it sounds like they've already putting them. The money's already in escrow.
Because I'm wondering what Mike Oresco, the AAC commissioner, thinks of things like the backdrop, U of H, Big 12 together in a logo, together for pictures to be taken. Those pictures are not going to go viral. Maybe not viral, but on social media.
Oh no, it's already going viral.
So I wonder what he thinks about it.
Well, wait a minute. I've already picked up on it. I'm going because that was the first thing. Because I was looking at it and I kept looking. I'm going like, wait a minute. I thought they were in the AAC, and I'm looking up there, and there's this Big 12. It's very pronounced.
Yes, sir.
I think that was somebody that was a pointed message. That was definitely a pointed message.
Agreed. Andy Yannet sent me the picture of it from Jeremy Branham, colleague who calls the games for U of H Athletics, with that picture and the backdrop. So I wonder we're talking negotiations. Okay, that's what this comes down to. So if Mike Oresco and U of H can come to an agreement, a fair amount that U of H is willing to pay, I think they're gone after this 1 year, and they'll be ready for the Big 12 come July 1st, 2022. I think I will not be shocked. I'll put it like that. I will not be shocked.
Well, does Renee Couture, does she get a bonus too for them? I mean, she's already done hers, but
she needs to have a statue put up, a statue erected for her somewhere on campus, put in the middle of campus, somewhere, whatever, because she has done so much for the University of Houston in her tenure there, academic-wise, facility-wise, prestige-wise. So she deserves every accolade that she gets.
Huh? Yeah. Well, you know what? It's interesting. I know. Kelvin has got he's already etching his name somewhere on a plaque or statue somewhere around there. I mean, he went to the Final Four and looking with this kid, what Arsenal that they just signed.
Terrence
And
Arsenal, yes, sir.
yeah,
Well,
I mean,
not signed yet. You can't sign to November.
oh,
Committed.
okay,
So, yeah.
but committed. Okay,
Yeah.
I stand corrected. I don't want no investigation going on. But anyway, yeah, it's U of H is it seemed to be pointing everything in the right direction, man. What I find interesting is the fact that was even talk of not even bringing U of H, and Tillman had to at the last moment had to sort of like had to make an offer that they couldn't refuse.
Yeah.
If I can use that terminology.
Yeah, that's a fair way to put it. And that it does not surprise me when I read that and heard about that. It disappoints me, but I'm glad U of H is in the Big 12.
Well, you're disappointed.
It disappoints me that still people in that conference still are afraid or petty that they don't want to have U of H in the conference. Okay, well, you didn't get your wish. So for as long as U of H is in the Big 12, if I'm the coaching staff, just put up on the bulletin boards, this school, they didn't want us in here. So let's go kick their behind and get on about our way.
Okay. Hey, Chris, what are you thinking about? All right, we got Thursday night coming up. Out loud, you think how we'll do this offline. I'm sort of curious as to how we want to do this from Thursday night, or we just do the wrap Friday, or do it late.
Hey, it's your call. I mean, you gotta be up early in the morning Friday, so that's your call.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, folks, get ready for a late night version of the AD Max Korner, because we're gonna do it.
Sounds good, because I'm kind of curious to see, because you sticking with your prediction, despite Davis Mills now probably gonna be the quarterback. Okay. Oh
yeah, I'm sticking to it.
I admire you for that, sir. Good for you. You're not wishy-washy.
Hey, look here. You know what? There's no crawfish in me. I mean, I stood out there. I stated it. And I think this. The character. I think there's something about the character of this team. And yeah, I know a lot of folks. They sort of looked at David Cutler like, okay, 65-year-old guy and everything. There's a different tone about this team.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what I am, putting my hand on. That's a different tone. That's a different flair about this team.
Real quick, sir. Real quick. I want to give you props from our colleague, from one of our colleagues in New York, Brother George Radney, tuning into the show. He says, excellent analysis. So bravo to you, sir.
Appreciate it, George. Hey, George, I'm planning on being up there. So, I'm heading that direction for them when the Texans take on the Bills. So I'm heading that direction. Everybody keeps saying I need to come up there and try northern, upstate New York's cuisine and everything. I'm coming. The AD Max Korner is heading to upstate New York, and so we'll be there.
Looking forward to it, sir.
All right, man. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for allowing me to come in there and pontificate for a little bit. As I stated, Thursday night after the game, we will have some. It's gonna be a grind, but we're gonna make it happen, Chris. We're gonna make it happen.
It's gonna be a late night on the corner, huh?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be. Oh yeah, and we're not gonna be singing doo-wop neither.
Okay. Look forward to it.
Won't be no doo-wop. Hey folks, again, appreciate you. Thank you. Again, remember, final score: Cleveland Browns 31, the Houston Texans 21. Tyrod Taylor tweaked the hammy, and I don't expect him to play. That's coming from me. I don't expect him to see him Thursday night. Davis Mills gets to take it from the top. So we'll find out exactly what we do have in this young man. And without further ado, from the corner, Chris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, Adolphus AD Moore from the AD Max Korner. Ciao. We out, players.